Hi, good morning. We're here at the community garden today, and so I want to talk about winter protection and growing in the winter. So we've kind of had some sad days here at the garden with some frost damage. And so this happens every year. We have to remind ourselves it is December, it is winter. And here in Phoenix, we can get cold weather. And so most of the time, our coldest, we hover around like 30 degrees, which is when water freezes and some plants will freeze. And so that's what this kind of darkened, dead looking things. These are chili pepper plants. You can still see a little chili on there. And then this one back here is an eggplant. And so you can see the droopy leaves. So these leaves on the outside of the plants have gotten frosted and frozen. And so those are now dead leaves. But it doesn't really get so cold that the entire plant is going to be dead. And so what I like to do is on some of these more frost tender things. So we're talking chilies, tomatoes, eggplants, basil, and we can cover these things every night and then uncover them to get sun during the day, or watch the weather and see when the frost warnings are. But it's kind of just goes with the territory. It is winter time. And so the best thing to prevent this is to plant with the seasons and plant appropriately. So these have been growing all summer long. We kind of leave them there to see if they'll last another year, but it's just too many cold nights in a row. But this eggplant's big enough, we could trim this up and it'll grow back, no problem. Some of these chilies are kind of small, so they probably won't grow back if we trimmed them up. But then when we plant with the seasons, all of these other things, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, kale, lettuce, all of those things can tolerate the cold temperatures of Phoenix, no problem. If it actually snowed on those plants, they would be totally fine too. At least snow for like maybe a couple days, not necessarily prolonged days. So they can survive down to like 15 degrees, which in Phoenix I don't think has ever happened. And we certainly aren't going to get snow on them. And so they're just going to be just fine. It's more the frost sensitive things are more the summer crops. So squash, chilies, tomatoes, eggplants, and those are just kind of out of season. They're not really growing very well either because it's colder too. So we'll show you too how you can cover and protect those things. Here in the garden, we're just wide open. So the cold air really comes in and sinks on these plants. At home, you may have concrete walls or just a more protected zone. And so that's more likely to allow some of these summer crops to keep living all winter long. And so I'll show you some tips on how to cover those plants and protect them for those cold nights.